Good morning, guys. Happy Thursday morning, as it's thunderstorms and pouring rain here. So if you hear a clap of thunder in the background or something like that, don't worry, I'm fine. Okay. But it brings up, the thunderstorms brings up a very interesting topic that we all need to know about. It is now being reported that either Joe or the UN completely will declare a climate emergency the beginning of next week. Yeah, get ready for more lockdowns. Get ready for more. You need to stay at home. You can't drive your car. You can't use your furnace or run your barbecue grill or anything. Get ready for restrictions like this, all in the name of fantasy. Okay? Now, I'll give you this. If any of you watch Alaska Prepper, which I figure a lot of you guys do watch Rudy did a great video yesterday discussing Tonga and the volcano that erupted last year and the billions of gallons of water vapor that were put into the atmosphere, everything like that. Okay? That has something to do with it. The grand solar minimum, which we've talked about many times here, Danny at Deep South Homestead has talked about it many times, is those two things are the cause, the scientific cause for all of the crazy weather we're seeing. Okay? The Biden administration, the UN, refused to believe the science. Go figure. Dr. Fauci doesn't say that this is accurate, so therefore, that they all worship at the altar of, Tony Fauci. The reality is, it's weather. It changes. Now, what's going to come out probably today is the scientific study on the temperatures of the ocean, that the temperature of the ocean has risen by 1.2 degrees, which is significant, okay? If you think about 3/4 of the earth is covered by water. Why? Well, that would have a lot to do with a volcano, So all this crap that we're hearing right now about, oh my God, we're in droughts, oh my God, we're in floods, everything like that. The media is absolutely hyping like crazy. This is funny. There was a story that came out yesterday in regards to this, that the North Pole, the Arctic Circle, was experiencing record heat. It was very hot at the North Pole, at 100 degrees below zero. That's very hot. That was how they described this. They were talking about, and it was moderate temperatures, and at the average of 100 below was very hot. Okay. The South Pole, all right. The South Pole is nowhere near as cold as the North Pole, but the South Pole was still coming in at 19 degrees above zero. Okay, about -7 Celsius. That was very hot. You guys ever had a 19-degree day that you'd consider very hot? I mean, I don't care if you live in Siberia. I don't care if you live in the northern part of Alaska. You still aren't calling 19 degrees a balmy summer day, going out with your shorts and your umbrella and getting a suntan. Okay. So how is this affecting everything? Well, we've talked about the droughts, the floods that are going on worldwide, all over the place. The latest disaster we've seen is Maui. If you caught this yesterday, all of a sudden you had massive wildfires rip through Maui, destroyed hundreds of homes, the historic district. Latest I've heard is 36 people were killed, okay? Because there's a couple issues here. The fires came in so fast and so hot, people didn't have time to evacuate. The second part is, you're on an island. There's not a whole lot of place to evacuate to, Okay. But this is what's going on. They will not use the science, okay, Tonga or Grand Solar Minimum. They won't acknowledge that whatsoever. They will not acknowledge at all the complete mismanagement of the forests. I mean, you look at the California wildfires that we see every year, and every year the same thing is said. Well, if you went through and cleaned out the dead wood and allowed the timber companies to clean everything out, not wipe it out, but manage the forests, we wouldn't have these problems. But no, the Liberal Communist Party, backed by all their whack job environmentalists, but the native tick is gonna, well, you'll destroy its habitat. Okay. So rather than destroy the habitat for some animal that will obviously move somewhere else, let's destroy the habitat of the human race. That's a good idea. Let's destroy the food crops of the human race. That's a better idea. Let's cause trillions of dollars of damage over the course of ever how many years this has been, because that's a better idea. This is the thing. They want to declare a climate emergency. And this is all preventable. Not by paying for more carbon credits so Al Gore can buy his next airplane, or John Kerry can jet off to somewhere else to talk about a bunch of bullshit that he knows nothing about. No, this could all be taken care of if we just managed the resources we have appropriately and stopped with all the insanity. Now, I'm not saying everybody should be able to go out and burn a pile of tires in their backyard or something like that. No. You go back to the 70s and, we've got responsible. You think of the old commercial with the Indian gentleman with the tear coming down his eye about littering. And the United States got a lot better about littering. Okay. No, the inner cities still look like shitholes, but that's because they're liberal. Okay. But you go out in the country, you go out down the highways, and you don't see nearly the trash that you did 50 years ago. You think about tin cans, your soda, your beer, whatever it would be. Remember the pull tabs that you used, the ring tab, you'd pull it off and you have this tab in your hand? They changed that. Why? Because we didn't want all the metal just tossed around. Okay? I mean, even six-pack holders or something like that, they changed those, or a lot of companies have changed those from the little rings to more of a flat surface one, because wildlife get their head stuck in it, and so things like that. We've done a lot of good things. Now we're starting to do stupid things, and this is going to affect all of us. If Joe declares this climate emergency, guys, this allows him to, again, spend money recklessly, which is going to drive inflation way up. It's going to drive gas prices way up, what I was telling you about yesterday, okay? And we are all going to pay for something that will have absolutely zero positive effect, and most likely a greater negative effect. Look at the latest one. All the money dumped into another renewable energy company yesterday. Bankrupt, okay? This is it. The technology is not there yet to create this zero carbon world that they believe in. Is it a good idea for the future? Sure, okay? We ain't there yet, okay? We still need oil, we still need coal, we need nuclear, okay? But are you ready for shutdowns, for lockdowns again, to put more companies out of business? Okay? That's what's going to happen when you're told you're only allowed, I'm just making this one up, but going back to the 70s again, you're only allowed to drive your car if you have an odd number on your license plate Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. okay, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or whatever it would be. Those are ideas that get floated around. Silly stuff like that, where you're restricted from doing whatever. This is all a play, mark my words, to set the groundwork for more mail-in voting, for more ballot harvesting for 2024, because the Democrats and Joe know the only way they have a chance to win again is to cheat again. Okay? That's their only option. And they're going to lay the groundwork out here a year ahead of time as we go into primary season, and so they can use this as a talking point throughout the election. Look how we saved the economy with our lockdowns because of climate. Look how much better things are. I mean, because what's Joe going to talk about? Look how much better the economy is than when he took over, right? I mean, even though, Little Orphan Diversity Hire keeps coming up and saying, well, Biden, people just don't understand the economy. That's why his approval levels are so low. No, people understand that, it costs me more to buy gas, food, electricity, cars, houses, whatever, than it did 2 years ago. People understand that, dumbass. Okay? It's you that is so clueless. But take a look around and go, okay, if I'm locked down again, which sounds like some sort of lockdown is coming, are you ready? Do you have what you need? I've said many times, are you prepared to not be able to leave your property for an extended period of time? Because if we get a climate emergency, a national emergency is what Joe wants to declare, okay? That's what's coming.